Billy Cousins, Third Phase of Moon. Welcome back, everybody. We are live taking calls from around the world. The number to call in, 347-934-0378. If you've got a UFO sighting you want to share, we want to hear it. And this is the place to share it. When you share your stories, you're sharing it to the world. And if you got something important to share tonight, just press number 1 on the keypad when you call in, and you'll be taken straight to the top of the call list so we know who to get to first. Now, we want to hear good stories, close encounters with extraterrestrials, incredible UFO sightings. We want concise stories from the beginning, middle, and end. When, where. It's really important to get the details out. We want the details, so if anybody was in the general area or if anybody out there experienced the exact same thing that you've experienced, we need to make that connection. So let's open up the lines. We are live, Third Phase of Moon. Let's get to it. 502. Welcome to the show. How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's going on, Blake?
Oh, doing pretty good.
How you doing?
Tonight.
Can you hear me clearly?
Oh yeah, we got you loud and clear. Yeah, tell us where you calling in from, what story you want to share with the world. Appreciate you calling in.
Sure, man. I just want you to know I'm a big fan of yours, man. I've been falling asleep here lately, man, and I've been wanting to call you and stuff, but I'm calling out of Kentucky.
Great.
Called Shelbyville,
Welcome
Kentucky.
to the show. Yeah.
All right. I was listening in on your shows, man, and stuff about the Greys, the gray aliens. I'm 39 now, and I was 24 at the time when I had experience, and I'm kind of nervous right now, so because I ain't never did this before. But I was up by like some substation lights, and I was parked on a gravel road, and I was turned towards the road. So I'm in the car, and I'm kind of looking around and stuff, things of that nature. And I happened to see a tall figure person, it appeared to be. And I couldn't really tell, but I could see the lights coming off the substation where I was, and I didn't think nothing of it, man. And I was looking down, just looking around and stuff, and I look back up. This thing is coming closer, like in the back of me, where I'm sitting in the driver's side of my car. So I'm like, man, what is that, man, And I still didn't think nothing of it, really, because I'm thinking, like, it's just like the glare off the lights, the reflection or something. So I kind of looked in my mirror, my rearview mirror. It's right behind the trunk of my car, and when I turned around, it was moving on the side of the driver's side, and it was tall, skinny, red eyes, big head, and real skinny. And I know that it wasn't from here, and I know that's what really convinced me, that about aliens and the grays, and I heard everybody talking about the short grays, the tall grays, the whites, and stuff like that, and that was the experience that I had, and I never forget it, man. And I got so scared, I kind of paused there for a second, and the eyes were so red, man. I mean, just like a fire engine red, so to speak. It was weird, man. So I turned my car on, put it in drive, and I hauled ass out of there, but I had to stop because I had to reassure myself, man, that this is what I just, came encounter with. So I looked back, and it was just sitting there, looking straight at me, man. And I know that it was a gray alien. I couldn't tell what color it was because it was dark, but you could see the glare off the lights. But I know that it was an alien. I seen it. I seen it plain as day, man.
Wow, that's insane. That is really insane because people out there have described the exact same thing in regards to the red eyes that come out of these alien grays. Yeah. So how tall would you say this thing is? Do you think it was bug-like? Some people are saying it could be like mantis.
Man, I was in a 93. I was about 24 at the time. I'm 39 now. I was in a 93, I think it was a 93 New Yorker. But it was tall enough to look over, on the hood of my car. So I'm going to say around 5'10", maybe, 5'11", maybe. I'm just guessing, estimating. I know it was taller than me from what I could tell. It looked tall, and I'm kind of a short guy. I'm about 5'9", and it was taller than me. I could tell that. But it was real skinny, man, long fingers and everything. Small. I could see the mouth. The mouth was kind of small. I couldn't really tell the ears or anything. Because I noticed, when I hear stories, they say they have like hole-like ears, but I couldn't tell the ears. But I know them eyes just stood out to me, man, and the nose was small. And I know that it was alien, man. I just know in my heart because I know what I saw that night, and I'll never forget it. I would never forget it. It's been with me for a long time now.
So this alien gray with red eyes, it was staring you down. What?
Man, it was staring dead at me. I had my window rolled up, and this was in summertime. I had it it's in the summertime, man. I had it, and I was by a golf course. I grew up there. Down the street, there's railroad tracks and stuff like that. My grandfather, we used to walk the railroad tracks when we was kids, and he used to tell me ghost stories and stuff like that, the Headless Horsemen, just different things like that, man. My grandfather was real country, and I'm a country guy, too. I'm not a city guy by any means, man. And where I was, like the substations and stuff like that, man, it's right there by the golf course. You know what I'm saying? Right there. But you know what? What's so funny, and I'm going to tell you this, man. Blake, I'm just so excited to talk to you, man. Dude, I told a story to somebody, man, and a guy said he's seen the same exact thing I seen up there, too. It's no lie, man. I'm serious.
All right, so now we have a double collaboration, a corroboration of the story. And so you're not alone in this sighting. Again, tell the viewers where was this? Any the exact street? Could you give us the closest town? Any Air Force? Any military base close by?
There's no military bases close by us. We pretty far from Fort Knox, man. Maybe I say maybe an hour and a half, maybe from Fort Knox, probably. Maybe not even that far. It's just a country town, man. It's no military, really, or anything like that, man. Sometimes you might see military planes fly by, something like that, because they're probably going to Fort Knox or whatnot. But other than that, man, it's just a country town, That's it.
Wow. So let me ask you. So how long did this experience last? So you're staring this thing down. What did you do after this? Did you drive away? Did it run? Did the thing run away? How did the experience end?
No, man. You know how I was hearing, what's his name, John Edwards, Stardust? I was listening to his story. I think it's his name. I was listening to his story, and he was talking about the short grays. Well, they say they like. The way he explained it, they like a program to just do one thing, to do a job, and that's it. If you try to talk to it, speak to it, you probably won't get no response. It's like it just don't know that you exist or something. I don't know. Well, this thing here, it just looked at me, and it just kind of just like on mute. It just stared at me, man. It was behind my car, man. And you know what's so crazy is that I seen the red eyes just shining like that, and I was hitting my brake, thinking I was hitting my brake. That's how crazy. That's how I was scared, man. And I wasn't, but I seen it walk around on the side, man, of me, and just stared at me. While I was sitting down, just stared at me. Skinny, tall, red eyes, big head, skinny neck, everything that people are sharing on your show, it's the same exact thing. The same thing, man. I'll never forget it.
And then, and what happened afterwards? Did you so you're staring at this thing. So how long? Then what happened afterwards? It sounds like, is there missing time here?
Man, it was when I was staring at it, man. It was just like, I'm gonna say maybe 15 seconds before I turned the car over and just try to get out of there. But something told me to stop because I wanted to I want to reassure myself that this is what I was seeing, and I had stopped, and this thing was just on mute, just paused, just looking at me, and that's just when I took off. I never forget it, man.
Oh man! So when you got home,
this stuck with me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So when you got home that night, did you tell anybody, your family? Did what did they think? Did you have the guts to tell anybody? Because this is wild.
Well, the woman that I'm with now, her name is Amanda. We wasn't married at the time, and I waited for a while to tell her. And now we're currently married, got 3 kids, and doing pretty good, And I told her this, and she's not a believer like I am. I'm a big believer, but she's not. And now she's starting to try to come around because she watches the shows with me, your shows and stuff like that with me and stuff, and she's trying to get into it. And I'm telling her, man, we're not alone, man. This is real deal. It's the real deal, man. And like I say, it took me a while to really tell my wife, but I had told this to someone on the street that I had grew up with, and a person said the same exact thing that you said. He saw the same exact thing, man. And I've talked about it, and my brother-in-law, Rod, man, he's a big believer too, man. He's probably listening in right now too, man. He's a big believer, and man, I just believe wholeheartedly, man, that they exist, and I know they're real. But to this day, I wish I had stopped. I know it sounds crazy, man, but I wish I would have just got out of the car and I don't know, man, I know I was scared, but I just wanted to be able to just face-to-face without fear, if you know what I mean, just to be able to see what it wants or something. It might sound crazy, man, but I don't know, man.
You just wanted to make contact. You wanted to make contact, and sometimes it's so terrifying when you're in so close of proximity to an extraterrestrial for the first time. I can imagine on a dark road, or on a road pretty much out there by yourself, and then you're like, "Wow, this is getting intense. I might have to get out of here," and that's understandable. But I could understand as well what you just said, that what if I just went back? What if I made contact? You know what, man? What an insane, incredible story to open up Third Phase of Moon, and I'm so glad you called in tonight, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Blake, man. I just want everybody to know, man, they exist, man. They're real. We're not alone. Blake, you got a bad show, man. I love your show, man. Straight up.
Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And it's just people like you that make this show what it's all about, because getting the word out like you just did, that's so important. That's about the most important thing we can do in this dealing with this UFO phenomenon, is dealing with the testimony and telling people, hey, you're not alone. You've experienced this. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Blake Cousins, Third Phase of Moon. More callers coming in. Stand by. if you're just joining us right here at Third Phase Moon, and if you've got something you want to share in regards to the UFO phenomenon, call in to 347-934-0378 and share your story to the world. And remember, we want to hear a good, clear story from beginning to end. How did it start? What happened afterwards? When and where? All the stuff. Very important. All right, so when I say your area code, get ready, because you're going to be live Third Phase of Moon, and you're going to be up. So let's bring them in. Area code 785-785. You're live Third Phase of Moon. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, good evening on a beautiful night in paradise. I tell you what, I've had two spottings in the last week. Sunday night, every night about between 1 and 2, my dog wants to go outside and sniff the country air. Well, Sunday night or Monday morning when I walked him out, I was looking up in the sky. It's facing north. Yeah, I was facing north, and from the east, you know how the big jet airliners have the red and green or red lights that flash. Well, this didn't have any lights that were flashing. It was about 37,000 feet up. And it had a slow white beacon that was flat, and it was headed straight west from the east. The one that really got my attention was on Tuesday night about the same time. I'd seen it through the corner of my eye, a bright flash. So I looked up where the three sisters are, and I followed a big white orb. Didn't flash, wasn't in any hurry. It was from about the Three Sisters location, going straight east. Then it slowly turned to the south. And I stood up. I'd like to have gotten my camera and recorded it, but it's too dark. But that one was when you look up in the sky and look at Venus, as bright as Venus is, it was brighter and a little bit bigger than what Venus is. And
we're getting a lot of these crazy, massive orb sightings, like very bright, non-characteristic of drones or any kind of Chinese lantern. No, these things are up there, and they're performing maneuvers unlike any kind of aircraft that we know of, and drones can't even perform some of these maneuvers. They're just too massive and too bright, with no flight indicators required by the FAA. There's technology right now happening above our skies. Are they keeping an eye on us? Is it them, or is it one of ours? It's a big question, but that's what it's all about. We got to figure this stuff out. What's above us right now? Thanks for the call in, sir. Thanks for the call in. Okay, let's go to area code 575. You're live, Third Phase Moon.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hey, what's up, Blake? My name is Abel. I'm just calling in
Adrian?
a follow-up story. Abel.
Oh, got you, Abel. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just following up on the story that I called back about, when was it, last year in October, about a humanoid-looking being that I saw on top of my rooftop. Yeah, it would appear that he had an invisible camouflage suit. Well, anyway, the gentleman that just called before, I heard him just say the Three Sisters. And if he's talking about the Thirdphaseofmoon House, which is a mountain, I'm like right here, we're right by that area. Well, anyways, after seeing that humanoid being, I want to say roughly 3 months after that happened, this was around 2010, I've seen that same orb, what he's talking about, headed towards not the Three Sisters, but it's another mountain range. It's called the Florida Mountains, and this is over here in Deming, New Mexico. Well, anyways, I pulled over to the side of the road. I was the only vehicle on that road that night, and it looked like he said, like an orb, and to me, I thought it was like a comet. And then so I pulled over on the side of the road and just to check out this comet was what I'm thinking. And as soon as it gets closer, this thing turns into three lights, and to me, it looks exactly like the aircraft that that was in the Phoenix Lights, but way smaller. It wasn't as big, and there was one light in the center, and then one light at each end of the wings, and this thing like flew right over me. Like it probably no more than 60, 70 feet high up in the air. And this, the lights were really bright. It just went like completely like right over, like directly over me. I was able to get a clear view of it, but the aircraft itself was just like a pitch black, like really, really dark. Like even it was darker than the night sky. You know what I mean? But I could still make out the lights, but the lights were weird. Like they were so bright white, but they didn't hurt your eyes, and it didn't have like no beams. This aircraft didn't even make a sound. And it was just cruising, like probably like 5-10 miles an hour. It wasn't even going that fast. Well, I'm just staring at this freaking aircraft like in awe, you know, and I just watch it go like right over me, and then it goes straight to the Florida mountains. And I just watched it probably about a good 10-15 minutes, and it didn't even like dawn on me to pull out my cell phone or anything. But if that's what that man is talking about, I know I've seen that aircraft up close and personal.
Well, so yeah, all these strange lights are happening more frequently, I say, in 2017. These orbs are getting closer. They're not, and they're resembling TR-3B technology. And I don't think they're drones, people. They're definitely not drones. They're not stars. But one thing I don't want is people to send me video of people that say, "Look at this star. It's not a UFO. No, it's a UFO, but it's this. It looks like a star, but it's a UFO." Don't send me those videos. I want to see something that's like what we're hearing tonight. Incredible orb footage. Something that we know that definitely it's not a star. Don't send me twinkling lights in the dark sky. It's not going to do anybody any good unless we have something that's quite amazing. Okay. Area code 313. Thanks for waiting. You're live. Third Phase Moon. How you doing tonight?
Hey, Blake. How's it going?
Wow, pretty good. You got really good audio. And where are you calling in from? Well, what's your name?
I'm calling from Flat Rock, Michigan. I'd rather stay anonymous.
Hey, no problem. No problems with that over here at Third Phase. We just want to get the information out. You got something you want to share to the world tonight? Let's hear it.
Yes, I've had several encounters and one invitation when I was a teen, in not a abduction, but an actual invitation. Some friends and I used to live in Maryland, like 5 minutes away from the Andrews Air Force Base. And I've seen this TR-3B that you speak of actually hover over my apartment complex. And one night, we were outside playing late at night. It was maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And outside of my apartment complex, it's a really hilly apartment complex. And there is a large field which is in between the apartment complex and a graveyard. And being teenagers, we were playing outside the graveyard. And we all kind of looked up at the sky like deer in headlights and saw what looked to be, I'm going to pretty much say, just a series of purple, red, and blue lights alternating in each other. And as we continued to stare at it, me and 5 other friends, we continued to stare at it. It gets closer, and time kind of stopped for all of us. No one remembers what actually happened in between the time, but it took from 2:45, I'll say, as a rough estimate, to about 4 o'clock when we actually came back and everyone was back together and, I'll say, conscious as a group. And one of them spoke to me. I can't describe it because it was just really bright on the inside, and it said, "If you believe, we will be back next year at the same time in the same spot. If you believe, be here." So I told my friends, I didn't tell them what they said, but everyone said the exact same thing. If you believe, we will be back in this same spot at the same time. So we all anticipated this time. So we all gathered every month at the same time, at the same night, in the same spot. And one night, the invitation came true. And this craft, I'm going to say craft because it was elongated, circular in shape, but more or less of an oval. And as it got closer, it got flatter to where it was just like a beam of light, kind of. It was just that bright. It wasn't very easy to see what it actually was. And the lights flashed in front of us, and a purple light stayed solid, and a small doorway opened. And what I can only describe as humans, not humanoids, these were humans, got out and said, "Come with us, if you believe." Now, there was no mouths moving. This was all psychic, I assume, because I could not see their lips moving. But as I walked in, it was warm and welcoming. And they said, "We want to show you something." And I saw what was the universe and what looked like our solar system, but not necessarily our solar system because Mars was not there. But it was eclipsed by another planet, or blocked, should I say. It existed, but it's not in what I saw. And there was a section of what they showed me that was kind of like a star map, and it was pointing to where they were from. And it was just outside of our solar system. And I've been hearing these stories of the planet Nibiru. It is not called Nibiru. Nibiru is what we call it, but this is their home planet, supposedly. I'm not saying that I've been to their planet, but I was invited to go. And as I stepped in, I was shown a seat to sit in, and I sat in this seat, and the seat was not solid. It was more or less liquid, more of a condensed liquid, should I say. I sat in it. I could see the ripple patterns go around me as I sat down, and it lit up. It lit up in I would say a mauvish, phosphorescent color, maybe like magenta. And I could see everything from above, not on the planet anymore. We were obviously outside of the atmosphere. And as I looked at the being, it was human. It was human. It was human. And I believe they use humans as liaisons so people won't fear them. And he told me, he or she, I couldn't really tell gender because, again, it was bright and it looked human. And as I spoke to it, it just told me, be calm. There's nothing to fear. We're just here to observe. And I asked it one question. I said, are you God? And another quickly came up from, I'm going to say, behind me and touched me on the shoulder and said, no, I am not God, but God is one of us. And I kind of looked because as a child, teenager, I was deeply religious, went to church every Sunday. And it said, I am not God, but God is one of us. God is a higher being. So I said, then who are you? And it said, Anunnaki. And as it said that, it kind of stopped and looked at me right in the face and smiled and said, okay, you have to go back now. And that is when everything ended and time just seemed to stand still while I was there. And I couldn't, or should I say didn't want to move. I wanted to listen. I wanted to find out. I was enjoying the images that I was showing. And one of the major things that I do remember the most is looking at our planet. And they showed me several images of our planet. They showed me one from before man was man. We were so-called Homo sapiens, before we were an intelligent species. They showed me when we were an advanced species, more advanced than we are now. And then they showed me another image as where we are now. And in the image of where we are now, several things stood out. I mean, let's say another dark-colored president, not necessarily black. A few conflicts that seem to happen overnight, and some smaller other things. But the main thing that I took from it is that they are peaceful, and they do not want to harm us. But there are some that do, and our government is involved. Our government is involved highly. The TR-3B is based off of their technology, and they are an extremely advanced race if they speak without speaking. You know what I mean? And by the way, I wanted to say you have a great radio show. I'm a long listener. And,
you know, thank you so much. You know, your story is quite intriguing, and I love just to let people tell their story without interrupting, if I can do that. And wow, I appreciate what you just shared with us, because I got a feeling. So you're gonna get the. You have this message. Your friends are all part of it. You're intertwined with this relationship you have, and you went back out there. When are you guys going to go out there again this month? How does it work?
I don't live in Maryland anymore. I actually live in Michigan now. That's where I'm calling from. And actually, they told me that they went back not too long ago. This happened in March, by the way. It happened in March. And the time that it happens is always in March. And they plan to go back. And one of my friends plans to attempt to record it. Supposedly, no real technology happens to work around them. If any callers out there are experiencing any visitations and your electronics start to act funny, that's real, because they don't want everyone to know. They will reveal themselves when it's necessary and they're ready. It will happen.
You know, it sounds like there's some insight coming in from this caller. And if you guys go out there, you choose to go back to Maryland and reunite with your friends, and I know you want to remain anonymous, but I still think there's something going on with that certain place with a certain group of people. So keep in touch. Keep in touch from Michigan, because that was an amazing story, people. Insight. A look into the future and the past. We got more callers online. They want to get in. They got stories they want to share to you. We're going to let them in just a few moments. Stand by. Things are shaking up, and they were shaking up right in my front yard today. There was an earthquake on the big island of Hawaii. It rattled about a 4.5 on the Richter scale. It was approximately 5:30 a.m. this morning, and the house started to shake. It was based off the Waikoloa Coast, right here on the Big Island. Things are shifting out here. We're broadcasting on the world's most active volcano in the United States. So things get a little shaky around here, but we are getting to calls. Just a quick update. You never know. Earthquakes, hurricanes, they all come our way right here on the Big Island of Hawaii, where the Third Phase Moon broadcast is happening right now live. So let's get to callers. People have been waiting for quite a while here, so let's bring them in. Area code 281. Get ready. Get set. You're up. Third Phase of Moon.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, welcome to the show. How you doing tonight?
All right. I'm doing pretty good tonight.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm doing good. I can barely hear you, but it sounds like, and
okay.
It looks like you've been waiting for a while online here, but you got something you want to share to Third Phase of Moon? Let's hear it.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, just say some facts about the flying saucer. Everybody always said that a flying saucer goes faster than the speed of light. Yeah, it does. I mean, they also can stop on a dime too. But I was in the internet. I was seeing some of that NASA's propulsory things and all the different ones they had. Well, they had like the one like Bobby Pablazar was talking about with the gravity machine, where it's it's just the most the one that Bob Lazar talked about, the one with element 115 and all that stuff. But anyway, they said that the speed of the UFO can go to Alpha Centauri and come back in 2 weeks. Man, if you add the numbers, man, that's 50 times faster than the speed of light. Unbelievable, huh?
Well, that is the big question. Is there such a thing as going faster than the speed of light? And in my opinion, absolutely. You got to be kidding me that you could possibly think about not exceeding the speed of light. What about the speed of thought? The speed of thought is definitely faster than the speed of light, in my opinion. Go figure that. Go break that one. Break that code. The speed of thought. How much does it weigh? How much space does it take in any area? Any does a thought take space? Does it weigh anything? No, it doesn't. It's fast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's almost like, it's just a little part of, I guess, the way the atom was born. It's just, even if you break it down to even the most minute particles, it just boggles the mind.
It does, but we got to figure out other things, because this is beyond anything that I think we're going to crack at any time soon. But we may, but there might be some pretty smart people out there that will be able to tap into the speed of thought. But we want to get down to the practicality where people could start learning and start to admit everywhere around the world that we're not alone. That's the main thing. People got to wake up and ask the big questions. That's why we'll get our government officials to start letting loose the technology that they have in their hands that they're not giving to the people. Thanks, caller. Appreciate it. Okay, we got more callers. Let's go to Let's go to area code 209. 209. You're up on Third Phase of Moon live. All right, 209, you had your chance. 209, you're off. Let's go to area code 205. 205, you're up on third. Uh-oh. Hey, how's it going? Little scratchy there, but you're on Third Phase Moon. How you doing tonight? Let's hear your story. Let's get to it.
All right, hey, can you hear me? Blake, can you hear me?
I got you. Loud and clear.
Hey, buddy.
Loud and clear.
I'll be real quick. I love your show. You're awesome. I've called in a few times. Me and you've spoken. I'm Joe. I just saw something cool last night. Unfortunately, I couldn't videotape it because my phone's terribly broken and I have to get a new one anyway. It was just some, cool. Like I saw a plane in the sky, and then over, not too far behind was one of those weird craft that has a weird light in the front that kind of got bright, kind of got dim, and then there was another light doing the same thing in the back end of the craft. And as it got a little bit over my head, it made a weird turn and right in front of me, and then it pretty much disappeared within the next 30 seconds. Just I don't know where it went. It was just there, and then it wasn't. And I still saw the original plane that caught my eye originally while I was looking at the sky last night for. But it was just different. It was cool. I don't know what it was, but it was definitely different.
Appreciate that heads up and the update. Definitely, we want to get these updates. When you see a UFO for the first time, don't forget, people, it happens again, over and over again. Once you see them, you'll see them again. That's their MO, I think. All right, let's bring in area code 425. You're live on Third Phase Moon. 425, you there?
Hey, Blake. How's it going, man? All right, so I just wanted to tell you about a story. I was with my mom. This happened probably back in 1994, and this happened in the state of Washington. It was nighttime, after dark, and we were driving home. I don't know the exact hour, but let's just say 8, 9 o'clock. And long story short, so we're heading down this country road, and there's stars in the sky, and there were these two stars. I'll call them stars, but they stood out from the rest of the stars in the sky because they were brighter. They were emanating a little bit more light. So I was just a kid, I'm guessing probably, like I was saying, probably 12 years old. So we're going down this road, and, I'm paying particular attention to these two brighter stars. I always like to stargaze, and these were just kind of drawing my eye. So we're going down this country road, and I'd like to add that this isn't of any extreme relevance, but we were in my mom's minivan, and I remember the windshield kind of had, the upper section of it was somewhat tinted. And I remember as we got further down the road, I had to kind of like lower myself in my position so that I could still see these two stars in the sky. So anyway, their position was one was kind of on top of the other. They were stacked. And anyhow, so we're driving, and out of nowhere, the top one, it shot away from a standstill position to, the thing I compare it to is it was as if you pulled back the rubber band on a slingshot and then just let that thing go. It took off like a speeding bullet from a dead stop. It was insane. And, and then like 3, maybe 2 seconds later, the one beneath it did the exact same thing in the exact same direction, at the exact same angle. Both of them flew away to the right. And it wasn't like directly to the right. It looked more like they, like flew like kind of to the right, but out into fucking space. Excuse my language, but out into space. It was really bizarre, and we were about 3 or 4 minutes from my home at that time, and I remember the first thing I did. Well, oh yeah, let me add. Right after that, those objects flew away like that, my mom said to me, she said, "Did you see that?" And I said, yeah, oh my, I was, yeah, definitely. And anyhow, so we got home about 5 minutes later, and I just remember getting right out on the deck, out back, and looking up in the sky and looking for any other crazy activity. But unfortunately I didn't see anything, and but it was the most crazy thing I have ever seen when looking in the sky, and it was amazing. So just wanted to share that story with you.
Well, that when you experience things like this, when they're objects that are doing 90-degree angles or zooming incredibly fast, taking up space from one place to another, that defies any kind of physics that we're aware of. And these sightings have been going on for centuries, if not thousands of years now. So these are the sightings that make one believe that, hey, look, this phenomenon is real. And I've seen the exact same thing that you described, and I know millions of people have seen the exact same thing, and they can't explain it. Why not ask the question? Why not ask your government officials, what the heck is going on up there? Break it down. Be reasonable with us. Don't laugh when you talk about extraterrestrial craft in the sky. If you're a news broadcaster, at the end of every single, do you notice every single news story out there on the major media news, every single time they bring up anything that could possibly be something out of this earth, they laugh at the end of that segment. You could lay your money on it. If you haven't noticed it, watch it next time any major media talks about UFOs. They're going to laugh about it at the very end. That's their MO. People need to start asking the questions. Tell your friends, hey, look, there's too much evidence out there. Okay. We have an unlisted phone number. Let's go to the unlisted phone number. We'll see who they are. You never know. You there? Go ahead. Speak up.
Hello?
There you are. There you are. Welcome to the show. You're live, Third Phase Moon. How you doing tonight? Let's hear your story.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear, sir. You're live, Third Phase Moon. You got something you want to share tonight?
I don't think you can hear me.
Okay, I don't understand. Well, whatever. You're lost. Too bad. It sounded like they wanted to share. Yeah, now you're 585. I got you. Sounds a little muffled though. 585 sounds pretty muffled there. Let's see. Let's go to area code 323. 323. You're up. Third Phase of Moon. We got a few minutes left.
Hello, good afternoon. Good evening.
Yeah, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good. I'm actually at work. I hope you can hear me a little bit. There's one time I like to take pictures of the sky. Sometimes the sky, the towers, there's faces, weird looking faces. And one time I just took a picture of this weird looking.
All right, you're coming in a little. You're broken up. Where are you working at? What's your occupation? Why is it so loud back there? Go ahead.
Oh, I'm actually working at the Superior Grocery. I'm in the back of the cooler. You hear the fan. This music playing at the same time, and I'm washing these trays as I'm talking to you.
Okay. You can't wash trays while you're talking to Third Phase Moon. Can you got a few minutes left. Just take a quick break. I don't know where your boss is, but if you're live on Third Phase Moon, you got something important to share. Let's hear it. You got a few minutes. Go ahead.
Sometimes the clouds have like faces, and I took out my Fuji camera and I took a picture of this face that looked like a demonic face. And I looked back on it the same night or the same day, and I captured to be like this black humanoid on top of a UFO. And then I didn't even know that it was going to come out in that picture, but it came out. And then like seconds later, I saw something blue to the sky, and I took a picture of it again. And it made like a little tornado, and then it stopped halfway, and it continued on making a second tornado, like a little small tornado. And it just shot off to the sky. But what was really interesting that I captured something like a black humanoid on top of a craft. Like I show it to people, but I don't want to believe me. That's kind of interesting.
When you're done with your job today, and you get off work, which I appreciate people calling in while they're working. I know people's time is very important. Why don't you upload that photographic evidence to my Facebook and go to our Third Phase Moon Facebook and upload it? I want to see that. And that sounds quite incredible. And this is what Third Phase Moon does. We open up the lines, and people are sharing evidence, stories. I really like some of the stories that we've heard tonight, especially the one that rings out to me is that man that had that experience with the alien, the tall alien on the side of the road. And he had a stare-down contest with this thing. It freaked him out. He took off in his car and said, wait a minute, I'm going to look back and see if this thing's still there. And he confirmed that he spotted something not of this earth, in his opinion. And you know what, people? I believe him. Have you seen an alien? Have you witnessed something big? Have you videotaped a UFO? Submit it to us at Third Phase of Moon, or share your story on our radio shows every Friday and Monday night live. Everybody, thanks for joining us on the Flash Chat. And we are also looking for contributors to stories out there in regards to this phenomenon. You got an expose, a story you want to share to Third Phase Moon? Give it to us. Maybe you could even record your own voice. Send me a good audio file or a good text file that lasts for 10 minutes. I can read your stories. Share it. Share it to the world. And I got a feeling there are people out there, investigators, that got things they want to share, but they just don't know how to do it. If you're a journalist, write something. Share me the details. Could be big news. Thanks, everybody, on the Flash Chat for joining me. And again, the power's in your hands. Join me this Monday coming up for the next Third Phase of Moon radio show. And stay tuned to YouTube on our YouTube channel, Third Phase of Moon, for updates, new UFO videos. You never know what's going to happen. Keep your eyes on the skies, everybody, and have your camera ready. Have a steady hand. We'll see you again next time. Keep your eyes on the skies again.